Top of the morning, Raider Nation. Got my coffee, left-hander style, right here where you can see the logo. It's a brand new spanking channel, man. Old channel's out, new channel's in. Just like what the Raiders are doing, dude. I guess I'm the new quarterback on the roster now, dude, in YouTube world. So call me Jarrett Stidham, call me a scrub, whatever you need to say. If you made it this far, hey, shout out to you. Might as well sub. You might as well hit the like button. You might as well start listening to Raider Dave and just fry some brain cells while you're at it. Let my voice cook some brain cells, because I'm going to probably tell you everything you don't want to hear overall, because that's what it seems like right now on the internet. It seems like if you just say the littlest of thing, dude, that like, oh man, like, did he just criticize Derek Carr? Did he just bring up the fact that he didn't win games? Yeah, he did. But anyway, I'm not going to bring that up. But let's get into what we need to talk about, man. So right now, man, we got the Niners Raiders, man. Not much to say about this game. The Raiders, they're going to have to play a defensive game, dude. They're going to have a heavy run offense. I think that includes running Zamir White. I think Josh Jacobs is going to be probably 15 carries or less. Zamir White might get 15 carries. And I think Jarrett Stidham's going to be running for his life for a little bit. So I think he's going to take off and run maybe 5-6 carries from Jarrett Stidham, man. He's going to have to use his legs in this game. Now, how Josh McDaniels brings the game plan without Derek Carr, is the offense going to look different with Jarrett Stidham? I don't know. One thing I will say is Kyle Shanahan, he said that as far as the Niners and their game planning for this game, they think that Jarrett Stidham's very similar to Derek Carr. So they're game planning for Jarrett Stidham as if he's Derek Carr. So let that one kind of marinate for a little bit. That's what Kyle Shanahan said. And then of course, Josh Jacobs voicing his frustrations with the carries. So I'm going to keep him limited on carries just based on what he's saying. He's already feeling the frustrations, and I think he knows why. And then, I think we know why too. It could be money. Could be a contract thing. Maybe they're trying to limit carries and limit production at the end of the year. Unless they're really fighting for a playoff spot, we'll see. That's the thing. We're going to see how this team responds on Sunday. If they really want to fight for those slim, unreal chances to get in the playoffs, we'll see what the fight is like on Sunday. But that's pretty much my prediction with this game at best. At best, if the Raiders to win this game, I would say they win this game 16-13. It would be a game of field goals, keeping everything, keep a defensive game or a very slow-paced game or sloppy game. I see that for a Raider victory, and it would be 16-13. Now, if the Raiders were to lose this game, on the flip side, hey, hopefully it's a 16-13 loss if they lose, and not 34-3. Some of those games are demoralizing, dude. When we get our ass kicked, it's a demoralizing moment, and I hope that's not what happens on Sunday. So let's get into the Derek Carr talk. So, huge supporter of the Raider organization my entire life, man. From the mid-'80s all the way till now, and continuing on. I'm in this to win it, dude. I'm here for the ultimate day that we are hoisting that Lombardi trophy, man. And whoever that may be, however the future may hold it, remains to be seen. But that's where I'm at. With Derek Carr, man, I was huge on the Raiders drafting Derek Carr early on, and very satisfied with everything that Derek's done for the organization, from on and off the field. If there was one thing that I was going to critique Derek Carr on, man, it was decision-making, and decision-making at times in the game. That's where my criticism of Derek Carr comes, because Derek Carr sometimes folded in the pressure. He always rose up in the comeback victories and games where the game's on the line, you name it. He rose up in a lot of those occasions, and he holds high, prestigious numbers and leads pretty much in NFL categories in short year periods for those numbers. But once again, one thing we need to remember with numbers, we can always take numbers and spin the positive or spin the negative, whatever. I'm just going by what my eyes see in tempo of the game. Now, if you've heard my podcast before, I've always talked about tempo. Offensive tempo tells me a lot. It tells me how when I watch Aaron Rodgers, I'll even say Lamar Jackson. I'm a fan of Lamar Jackson. I like his style of play. He's grown on me. When I watch a coach, offensive coordinator, and how they're implementing plays and communicating from sideline to the field, quarterbacks dialed in, coaches calling plays, you name it, how everybody's orchestrating the ultimate goal, and that is to execute the game plan. And everything for the Raiders, I see that happening. I saw it with Gruden. I saw it going back to Jack Del Rio, Bill Musgrave. They ran a very simplified offense for Derek Carr in 2016. Let me remind you, they did run a very simplified offense. Of course, 6 games, Derek Carr broke his pinky, so they had to go to the pistol offense, so it rightfully so had to go simplified. But moving forward with Derek Carr was like watching the decision making, you know. For instance, you have Hunter Renfrow in Denver on a double move wide open. That game came down to a call at the goal line where Raider fans are like, hey, you know, we got a touchdown, dude. Ref robbed us of a touchdown, dude. Ball broke the plane. But I'm sitting there, yeah, you're right. They did blow that call. But you know what? There was 3 plays before that led him to the goal line where Hunter Renfrow was wide open on a double move and on a free release. And if Derek Carr just drops the ball right into his hands, that's a touchdown. Game could have went differently at the end. Who knows? But what I'm getting at is that was a decision-making moment where things weren't executed. So when things don't get executed on the field, you have to think about when you're going back to the sideline, how they have to revisit that play, how they have to revisit how to execute the play. Because John Gruden said it best in the Hard Knocks. You know, he wants fucking execution. That's a frustrating comment that he made. He made a comment based on, hey, we're getting there. We got everything going. Receivers ran their routes. You name it. But then again, you could flip that because sometimes Derek's pointing at the receivers. Quarterbacks will call out their receivers, man. You hear all quarterbacks call out their receivers. And sometimes Derek will say, hey, some guys didn't run the right routes. You name it. We saw that in Kansas City in the Monday night game earlier this year. We lost by a point, man. We saw Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams collide, man. But that was early on. They're still learning the playbook. There's still some kinks to work out. I think this team has fully settled in with their plan, and I think that's why they made this decision with Derek Carr. Not saying it's the right decision. Once again, not saying this is the right decision. Just trying to build a healthy conversation around this situation. But as far as being attached to a player, like I said, I was attached to Tim Brown, so I know what it's like, man. What's life going to be like? What's life of football going to be like without Derek Carr? Because I went through that with Tim Brown. I mean, Tim Brown played for the Raiders almost 15 years or 15 seasons in the NFL, and then he retired. And I'm like, and that one season with the Bucks or whatever. But, you look back and you go, man, what I remember then. I'm like, dude, what's watching a Raider game without Tim Brown going to be like? What if another player wears the freaking number 81, dude? We saw that with Chad Shillings. He adopted the number 81 down the road, dude. So you see things evolve. The same thing with Derek Carr. Under center for 9 seasons, 3 Pro Bowls. Lots of Raider records broken, and the most prestigious records, the only one he didn't reach when it comes to like a known, a respected accomplishment, and that was the wins. But, with all that going forward, we don't know what we're looking at, man. It's going to be like that. 9 years under center, we don't know. We might go through 3 quarterbacks. That's very realistic. And once again, I'm not here to say this is the right or the wrong decision, but I'm here to say that I personally think those moments in games, the decision-making moments, I think that led to this decision, man. I think this evaluation's been underway for quite some time. I don't think the organization listens to fans, so fans aren't getting what they want. I think this is a business move. It's a hard move. And, we just, man, going forward, man, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say other than this team does need to find a quarterback. They're on the hook right now to find a quarterback that can play better football than Derek Carr, and we're gonna have to leave that door open and see what remains to be seen, man. Because like I said, we're only gonna learn with time. Time's only gonna tell us. Only time. And we have a long way to go, Raider Nation. We got a long way to go, man. We're restarting this shit. We're restarting this one, dude. I don't know if we're rebuilding, gutting the team. I doubt it, but we're definitely switching quarterbacks is what it looks like, and we have already this week. So anyway, I don't want to ramble too long. Give me your thoughts, man. Let me know where your emotional state is with this team, how fired up you are for Sunday. I don't think I can say I'm fired up, man, but I'm gonna be watching the game. I watch football, man. And the more this becomes a business, I'll close it with this. The more this, it already is a business, a multi-million-dollar business. If you wanted to go to the Raider Niner game this weekend, it would cost you $800, probably $600 for a ticket. Hey man, we got to treat this like business too, and I kind of have been, I'm as passionate I am, and I got Raider jerseys. I still support the organization. I buy gear, you name it. But at the same time, there is a different demand in my mid 40s when it comes to this team winning, dude. And one thing I do want to do, is I want to congratulate Derek Carr on being the guy for the last 9 seasons, doing what he did, playing injured, you name it. I also want to congratulate the Raiders organization, man. Not so much for they handled this at the end, but more for honoring his contract that they signed him to. Because, you do see a lot of players, they are cut, usually in the middle of their contract if things aren't working out. Not saying things weren't working out with Derek Carr, just saying that, he went through a lot with this organization. They did fulfill his contract, for the most part, just the last 2 games. And, it's going to be, it's just going to be different moving forward, man. It's going to be a different level. We might not know who our quarterback is until training camp. It's hard to say, man. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll catch you guys tonight. I'll be on the Hardcore Raider podcast. Check that out. I'll put the link in the comment so that way you can see it. That's if anybody sees this video. And I'm Raider Dave. If you felt the content, you like the message, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll talk again, man. I'm out. Peace.